Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Days and welcome to today's unseen video. We got a bit of Wyatt Sicks stuff to get our teeth into and a few other bits and bobs. Actually, quite a bit of WWE news. I wouldn't say anything massive, but plenty that's interesting. And we're going to start with something that's interesting, and that is this. Wendy Lucho, thank you, my friends. Again, thank you to everyone that tagged me in this. I was asleep when it dropped. I tend to sleep in the middle of the day here in the UK because I'm always up at night for the shows and things like that. So these tend to drop like whilst I'm asleep. So when I go into my notifications, that's where I see that I've been tagged, and then I see that the Wyatt Sicks have tweeted again, and it is again. They are prolific at the moment. This is what they've said. You choose to be deceived. Proverb 26:16. You are filth, repulsive. Again, really harsh with the language, right? So up here, Proverb 26:16 says, the sluggard, and I've never heard of sluggard, but the sluggard is wiser in his own eyes than 7 men who can answer sensibly, right? So that's about having an elevated opinion of yourself. It's you thinking that you're always right? The sluggard. So Wyatt Sicks forever, shout out to you, my friend. Shout out to you. I don't know if you choose to be deceived, I think is Miz being deceived by the words of Karrion. So I think you are filth and repulsive. I feel like this is aimed at the Miz. I'm getting a lot of Miz and Karrion kind of references, and it definitely seems to be the focus. It doesn't seem like Braun is the focus anymore. I think the injury has kind of put him to one side. I don't think that Xavier is the focus because he hasn't turned. So just to kind of clarify who we think they're referring to, I think that it is you choose to be deceived, being deceived by Karrion, the words of Karrion. I think this is aimed at The Miz. As well as that, we actually had this, so Wrestle Night, shout out to you. This is just some footage of Dexter Lumis. I believe this was Miz's birthday bash, and Dexter Lumis interrupted it, and the crowd were chanting, eat the cake. And he does sample some of the cake, and he interrupts Miz's birthday celebration. And this has actually been shared by Dexter. Dexter wants you to know that there is a history between him and The Miz. So Wrestle Night's like, uh-oh. As well as that, we had this. Rave said, I'm pretty sure you've been tagged in this countless times, and I have been tagged in it quite a bit. I think we might have the video later to look at. But I didn't know this. So the new Uncle Howdy, right, has been revealed. For context, the one on the left is already in the game. The one on the right is the updated one. And they're flipping pretty much identical. I feel like the beard might be a bit more, like, less grey. Like, might be a bit more, I don't know, black, dyed. It's not as grey as this one. Hair looks to be the same. It's not the dreads. I've looked and there's no bray on the glove. There's no red bit on the top of the hat. I believe this is still the old jacket. Like, it's probably updated, but just in, like, the most minimalist way. So, yeah, can't say I was thrilled or blown away when I saw this reveal. To be honest, I thought maybe Howdy just wasn't in the game at all. I really thought, like, wow, is this like the first time Howdy's coming in? I mean, it doesn't look like he looks now, but okay, you know. But it turns out he is already in the game, and this is the updated version that we are getting. So maybe there's some slight differences. Like, you can certainly see maybe the face of the shape might be a bit rounder. Certainly the beard doesn't seem as grey, but I don't know. It's not the update that people were hoping for. It doesn't make him look like the Uncle Howdy we have now. Ratchet the Owl said, this is from the same page. So we read about the sluggard is wiser than his own eyes. So what this means is, and apparently it refers to laziness as well. That can lead to self-deception and irrational justification for inaction. So sluggard is someone that's reluctant to leave their home. This guy. Prefers to stay in bed. This guy is so lifeless that they can't bring their hand out of a dish to eat the food. I've never struggled there, but whatever. May refuse wisdom. This guy. Convince themselves that their way is better. Yeah, definitely this guy. I think I might be the next target of the Wyatt Sicks. So there we go. Ratchet, thank you for explaining to us what a sluggard is. Now, also, Ratchet shared this with me, as many of you did, and I will give thanks later. So here, Ratchet the Owl said, you chose this Karrion Kross. His handle is Real Killer Kross. Ask, and you shall receive. So Ratchet sending some harsh words to Karrion Kross, pointing out that this is about you, right? Or at least this bit up here. And here's Karrion's response. It got 6 likes, only 65 views, but this is Karrion's response to Ratchet the Owl. 3 laughing face emojis, and it is the legit account. Nearly 160,000 followers. It is the legit Karrion Kross account. So Karrion responding to Ratchet there, which I thought was really interesting. And again here, look. So Howdy LFC. Here you can see, I think Howdy asked the question, Killer Kross, Karrion Kross, what do you think of this? Tagging him in this Wyatt Sicks post, right? Karrion responded, I think it's hilarious. So look at that. Karrion actually out there responding to people that are asking him about this Wyatt Sicks post. So that's the Wyatt Sicks folder. Some really interesting stuff in there. We're going to jump into WWE, so this will come as no surprise to anyone. The WWE Crown Jewel Championships are strictly for Saudi Arabia. They are not scheduled to be full-time TV titles. They will not be defended throughout the year, so that'll come as a surprise to absolutely nobody. But WrestleOps reporting that from WrestleVotes. Julian said, as per PW Insider, WWE and Rhea have come to terms on a new contract with everything but the actual signing taken care of. One source claims it's just a matter of time before it's signed and sealed. So apparently she would get a big pay in money, and it locks her in for the next 5 years. So it does feel like news. It feels like the bigger bit of news will be once she's actually signed it. But word on the street is it's done. It's pretty much done. It's all she's got to do is literally sign the paper, because it's all been agreed. Austin Cooper, shout out to you. Tagging me in this. Next week, the return of Halloween Havoc Wheel. So spin the wheel, make the deal. What kind of match type are we going to end up with? And I don't even know who the competitors are going to be at this point. But we're going to spin the wheel. We're going to make the deal. Is it going to be a casket match? Is it going to be a biker's chain match? Is it going to be a buried alive match? Is it going to be a lights out match? Is it going to be a boiler room brawl match? Lots of really good options on the wheel, actually. Lots of really good options. So that's going to be very exciting. As well as that, of course, we've got plenty of other things to look forward to. On NXT, I believe we do go back to the Performance Center, but should still be a really fun show. Talking of fun shows, here is Nick Aldis. He's talking about Smackdown. And we got 2 huge title matches. I believe it's Carmelo against LA Knight for the United States Championship. And Bianca and Jade defend the women's tag titles against Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson, 2 women from NXT competing on SmackDown. And the biggest news, the return of Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is going to be on the show, and here Roman Reigns is set to appear on SmackDown tomorrow to address The Rock's return to WWE. So Word of Wrestling, shout out to you. Big excitement around tomorrow's or later today's SmackDown. CM Chunk, shout out to you. So again, this is coming from WrestleVotes Radio. There is a big push internally for Japan to get a televised WWE event in the future. I think it absolutely should. If you think about Io, Kairi, Asuka, Nakamura, Akira Tozawa, there's a lot of Japanese talent, and we've just got Julia down in NXT as well, so yeah, there's so much Japanese talent around. It's a very wrestling rich culture, and I think a televised event from there would be brilliant. Cal, shout out to you tagging me in this. So again, WrestleVotes Radio seems to be where it's at. CM Punk is scheduled for Survivor Series next month, so he is scheduled for that. Mitchell, thank you, my friends. WWE are in talks with Microsoft over a Call of Duty deal. The deal will see WWE set to bring out commemorative title belts. Don't know how people feel about this, but title belts for sports teams we've seen for a long time, but now title belts for game franchises. I don't know how I don't really get it. I mean, if you're into Call of Duty and you're into WWE, would you even want a Call of Duty themed WWE title belt? That item doesn't mean anything. It's a bit like I really like Street Fighter and I really like WWE. So a Street Fighter themed title would be cool, but I don't know. I wouldn't be dropping £500 on one, I don't know. If they did WWE versus Street Fighter, the video game, then I might be into that. That would be pretty cool. But I don't know about a commemorative title belt. So I don't know. I don't know how people feel about that. Public Enemies podcast, shout out to you. CM Punk is not expected to work Crown Jewel. That's what Cultaholic Wrestling are saying. And it has been pointed out that The Miz kind of took a little bit of a shot at CM Punk in the past, right? CM Punk responded, "Go suck a blood money covered beep in Saudi Arabia, you effing dork." So he doesn't seem to be crazy about the Saudi Arabian deal, right? So the fact that he's not going to be competing on that show is probably not the biggest surprise. I don't know if he'll ever compete on that show, to be honest. I mean, he was injured for the one earlier in the year, and then he was obviously not available now. He's injured now. So, yeah, I don't know. I wonder if that's something that's in his contract. I'm just not going to do those shows, or if he will eventually have to work them. Don't know. Rock Insta new post. This was a pretty big deal today, actually. So The Rock put this out on Instagram. The show ain't over until the final boss says it's over. So they were just showing the very end of Bad Bloods. There's no business like show business. This is where he bursts into song. There's no business like show business. And there's no connection stronger and more electrifying than that of the people and the people's champ. You can feel the mana. Final boss engaged. Well done. Many congratulations. That's a big announcement. The Rock is engaged. A lot of superstars have been getting married recently. See ya down the road. So there we go. I think that's sort of a way of saying don't expect me on Friday. I'll see you down the road. It was lovely seeing you all. I just happened to be in the area, so I thought I'd pop my head in, but And honestly, it might be that. That might be what that appearance was. Right, Dave, shout out to you. So, Tifo said, per Fightful, CM Punk will be off WWE TV for at least the remainder of October into early November. Punk not working Crown Jewel. And Dave again, I had a few people tag me in this. Reports of WWE dropping Def Rebel are true, but they won't be bringing back Jim Johnston, who I think is sort of getting on in age a little bit now. As far as I know, those rumors are true. Def Rebel will be out. Unfortunately, Jim Johnston not coming back. I don't mind Jim Johnston not coming back. I really like him. I mean, an absolute legend. Should be in the Hall of Fame for his contribution. He did a lot of the classic theme music. CFO $, I always thought were pretty good. I didn't really have too much of an issue with them. I think that you can get... I mean, look, there's going to be tons of great theme music producers out there. Loads of people that are going to be able to whip up some absolute bangers. So I don't think we need to go back to Jim Johnston. I'm brilliant, but I'm totally fine for giving it to someone that's, you know what I mean, got their finger on the pulse right now, enjoys wrestling, knows what made those old themes great, can sort of see where we've been going wrong recently. Yeah, I'm really excited. I can't wait to see, you know, what direction we take. Word on the street is we're just going to use actual tracks going forwards, which I don't know how I feel about that. It's all right, but I did like people having their own specific theme, you know? Don't know. We'll have to see. That's going to be one that we'll have to see. So that was WWE. That was Wyatt. I think we can go fun and see what we've got in here. Oh yeah, this is fun. So this is Rhea walloping on Dominik with a kendo stick. And they've given us lots of alternative angles to enjoy. So it's interesting because I think this might be Raquel. So it sort of answers the question where she came from. She came through the crowd. She didn't come from like under the ring. So if I hit play, pretty sure she's there. She kind of emerges from like round here, I believe. It's very hard to see actually because this is kind of in the way, isn't it? Yeah, I think she sort of emerges from here, but there she is. That's Raquel. And you can just hear Rhea just absolutely walloping Dominik. And you can see it. Yeah, that is pretty fun. Right, so here, look. Custom Lamps by Reno said when she is expecting an apology and she hears the PlayStation turn on, livid. But Ricochet said she actually doesn't mind when I play games. She usually just reads her book when I play. Win-win for us. So there we go. A little glimpse into the relationship of Samantha Irvin and Ricochet. So if Ricochet puts on a video game, Samantha just goes and reads a book. Win-win. Oh, this is great. Love this. So let's go Instagram. Look at this. So,
how you doing today?
Just fine.
You sure are. Pretty thing. You got a fine-looking automobile. I love fine-looking automobiles. $5 worth of gas coming up from Americana Gas. Huh? $5 worth of gas. Now, man, I don't want to drop one right here. Woo! Whoa! Just hit it. Just hit it.
Tight budget this week.
I'm on a budget myself.
I'd like $5 of super unleaded.
You would? I bet you would. Hold on.
I'd like $5 of super and I bet you would. The dream, Dusty Rhodes. So good. So there we go, Dusty. Old Americana gas advert, I think, from the late 70s, possibly early 80s, featuring, well, it's Dusty. I don't know if it's an advert or not. I really don't. I don't know if it's not a clip from like a show. He had gas written on his shirt as well. So listen, any chance we get to have a look at Dusty, gotta take it, haven't you? So I'd like $5 unleaded super I bet you would. Right, here we go. A couple of boomers. Yeah, checks out, doesn't it? Checks out. Pretty much identical. So Jay, shout out to you. It's Sexy Red, everyone's favourite. Sexy Reds. So, here, look. Well, that's divorce, isn't it, right there? That's divorce. If I'm Stephanie, I'm going, what the is this, Hunter? What the is this? Pointing to other women's backsides now, are we, Hunter? Hmm? Oh, work, was it? Work. Yeah. He said he wanted me to do my poses. Well, I tell you what, he's lucky she only did that, because I've seen some of her poses. It's wild, isn't it? It's wild. And you can tell in his head, he's just like, because when he said do some of your poses, I think he probably thought it was going to be like something like this, you know? Something like that. And instead she's like, so Triple H is like, oh my God, please, Steph, don't ever see this. Get me out of here, get me out of here, get me out of here. At least I think that's what's going on up here. I'd love to know what's going on up there. I'd love to just have a little look inside there right now. But do some of your poses, and then she turns around and is like, I love it. Brilliant. Oh, this is great as well. It's Bryn again. Shout out to you. Here are some more funny tag team names. So here's Orton. Here's a Ho. It's a Threads. It's a Threads. Let's go over, shall we, and have a look. So that's Orton. I can't even say it. I want to say the H. Orton. Here's a Ho. So there we go. We got that one. Then we've got Rhea. Rhea. Ah, look at that. Look at that. This is clever. Rock. Paper, because he's the $1 million man, got loads of notes, loads of money. And scissors. Look at this. Rock, paper, scissors. Oh, that is so clever. I have not looked at all of these, by the way. Hey, yo, Sky. Death and Taxes was a famous one, actually. This is one that has I've seen mentioned loads before. Death and Taxes. And this is our last one. Rob Banks. Rob Banks. Love it. Love it. I think my favourite, Hey Yo Sky, is very good. I think that is so clever. Rock, paper, scissors. Diarrhea is not bad either. I keep wanting to say Horton. It's Orton. Here's a Ho. Brilliant. That was really good. I really like that. So it's Bryn again. Thank you. I thought that was excellent. Yeah, Wrestle Night says, whoa. And it is true. Look, Bry's saying the Raw graphics really stick out now. And they do. I mean, look how great these NXT graphics are. Then you've got these kind of action shot poses looking really good. And then someone's literally just grabbed like the PNG files off the WWE Superstar page and just dropped them on. I mean, it looks like the kind of thumbnail I would make. That looks exactly like my level of thumbnail that I would chuck together. I wouldn't do these. These are too good for me. I reckon I could make that. I reckon it wouldn't take me too long to throw that together myself. So I agree. We need to get to Netflix. We need to update these Raw graphics because these are looking sick. This is brilliant, Dave. Shout out to you. Now, I don't know if this is real because I have never seen this before, but I want to believe that it's real. Dave said, this is how bad the Monday Night Wars got. WWE Street Team was outside of WCW Nitro handing out WWF flyers, drug abuse, Monday Night Alcoholics. This is really good. This is really good. Let's go full screen, shall we? Can I get these up? There we go. So it's got all the logos on. So I'm guessing this is around 97. Yeah, I'm guessing this is like 97, probably going into 98. Yeah, it's going to be 98 because they've got the attitude word now, haven't they? And also we've got Mike Tyson up there, so that's obviously WrestleMania 14, so I'm guessing 98. Raw is War and like all the different superstars, so pretty standard. It just says why continue watching anything else. On the back though, I like the fact, or it's weird, that they have to concede they're losing the Monday night ratings. So look, Monday night ratings, even WWE or WWF have to give that to WCW at the time. What a weird one. What a weird one to include. If you want to prove that you are better, I wonder why they started with a very big, important one that they were losing. Let's break it down and see who is really the best. So Monday night ratings, we're losing that. So we go 0 for 1 in the first one. But house show attendance, we got that one. Television production, I mean, I feel like that might be debatable. I think that they were better, but I don't know, you can't really, that's difficult, isn't it? Match quality is also difficult. WWF have given themselves that. Factions and infighting, they've given that to WCW, so this is where we're throwing a little bit of shade. I think we're saying like drama behind the scenes, infighting, factions behind the scenes, yeah, that's WCW. Character development, we've got that. Balanced budget, like the fans are gonna care, yeah, we've got that as well. Old age, WCW. You probably could look at the average age of the rosters, and I'm sure WCW was older. Broadcast announcing, they give themselves a pat on the back for that. Storylines, they give themselves a pat on the back for that. Wrestling work rates, yeah, we'll have that as well. Profitability, we'll have that. I mean, I don't know, man. A lot of these at the moment I would look at and I'd be like, if I'm a fan, you want me to tune in because you're more profitable. You want me to tune in because you got a balanced budget. Like, what the flip? Egos. Now, I would think that if you're trying to show that you've got attitude, I would think that having an ego is something that might get people to tune into your program. They're like, nah, we don't have egos. But WCW, I feel like that's an own goal. Do you know what I mean? If you're giving this to like an average wrestling fan in 98... and you're saying, oh, we don't have egos. Everyone behaves themselves in our company. But we have got attitude, though. We have got attitude. I feel like that's an own goal. Quality pay-per-views. Pat on the back for that. International audience. What does that even mean? People internationally, because I'm international. We had WCW on TV. But apparently WWF claimed that. Drug abuse. That's WCW. That's WCW, drug abuse. There was no drugs going on in WWF in the late 90s. Oh. Merchandise sales. Apparently WWF have got that, but it is fan-friendly as well. Right? So they've got that. Lousy pay-per-views. That's WCW. Freedom of expression. WWF. Set designs. WWF. Monday Night Alcoholics. I feel like we've just lost our mind. I feel like this is just so random. Like the important stuff that wrestling fans are actually going to care about are being mixed in with balanced budget and profitability. I think they got egos wrong. And now we've got Monday Night Alcoholics. Honestly, in the late 90s, that might be another brag. To be honest, in the late 90s, that might have been something that is like, come and tune in. We're all Monday Night Alcoholics. We've got egos. That's kind of what people were looking for. They weren't looking for flipping balanced budgets. Youth. Okay. Yeah, that's not bad. Innovation. That's not bad. Booking. I mean, late 90s. Would the average fan know what that even means? Copying. That was WCW. In the black, WWF, and in the red, WCW. Why continue watching anything but the World Wrestling Federation, guys? It doesn't make sense, does it? Why watch a promotion that's not profitable? eh? So this is pretty bonkers to me. I don't know that that would change anyone's mind. It seems very, very petty. I'm pleased that WWF moved away from this, but yeah, I've never seen it before. I have never ever seen that before. My mind was blown with that. I thought it was amazing. So, Dave, thank you. So we had that. Colton said, I don't know if you've seen this. Yeah, Brandi Rhodes said, for the record, I haven't acknowledged shiz. She's got very confused because we saw that picture of her, like, acknowledging. But now she's saying, for the record, I haven't acknowledged anything. It's like, no, there is photo evidence of you looking at a camera and acknowledging. So, I don't know. I think she's a very confused Roman Reigns stan. To be honest, I think she wants to stick with Cody because that's her husband. But I think she did find herself in that one brief moment acknowledging Roman Reigns, and now she's having to try and backtrack. So, thoughts and prayers for Brandi Rhodes. And here, Dave said, tell us what you really think. So, Byte This was a social media show WWF were doing. JBL hit the roof on Byte This over the Ultimate Warrior calling Droz a cripple, right? Which is an awful term, and JBL does not hold back. We'll play a bit of this.
We made a parody of the Ultimate Warrior, and it sent controversy waves all over the internet. What's your take on the Ultimate Warrior?
You probably couldn't say it. You had to censor me. He's a piece of crap. He's an unadulterated piece of crap. Ultimate Warrior couldn't make it nowadays. He was surrounded by talent. He was hidden the fact that he couldn't wrestle, that he couldn't do an interview. He came along at the right place at the right time. Ultimate Warrior would not make it through the curtain nowadays. I've never had a problem with Ultimate Warrior. I knew him when he was here. He's a bit of an odd guy. But to call Droz a cripple, Droz, who's just a good human being that I hope gets out of that wheelchair one day, and I'll be one of the first ones to take him hunting. To call Droz a cripple, that shows me that the Ultimate Warrior is an absolute piece of shit. Can't stand the son of a bitch. To do something like that for absolutely no reason, it's completely inexcusable. I have no feelings but hate toward the Ultimate Warrior. I think that is absolutely disgusting. You got a problem with Vince McMahon, say something to Vince McMahon. You know, the Ultimate Warrior, I was on the road when he no-showed those events. That's the last reason he got fired. He chose to no-show the events. He broke his contract. To say anything else, he's a liar if he says anything else.
Wow. As Dave said, tell me what you really think. So there we go. JBL going off, rightfully, on the Ultimate Warrior, who, as we know, was not the greatest of humans outside of the wrestling ring. And then if we click on other... have we only got this? I didn't know this. So apparently the Eugene character was based on a real person, a former WWF ring boy that was called Eugene Palermo, right? And the real life Eugene Palermo passed away in 2022, aged 57. So actually based on a real person. Do you know the Eugene character is very controversial, but... And I do think that we didn't get the tone of it right? I definitely think there was plenty of occasions where we got the character wrong, but I do also think that wrestling should be representative of people in the world. You know, we want, if people with learning difficulties to be represented, and we want people from all different backgrounds, all different cultures to be represented. I kind of feel like this character was not a good idea, and you certainly wouldn't do it now. But I sort of had that feeling at the time that there was an opportunity to represent some people that weren't being represented in wrestling. It's just that the stuff we had Eugene doing, the way was completely wrong. I can't defend that. But I don't know, the idea of that character being in wrestling, I don't think was entirely wrong. So it's just really interesting for me to learn that it was actually based, talking of representation, on someone in real life that was actually a former WWE ring boy. So very, very interesting. So Michael, thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. And that is it. That is today's Unseen. So, as we said, loads of bits in there. Hope you enjoyed it. It's another one that's going to clock in around that 35-minute mark. And appreciate all the support as always. We will be back later with our Smackdown watch-along live stream. I'm sure we'll have another Unseen following that as well. But as always, thanks for the support. I'll see you next time. Bye for now. Coca-Cola.